Hello everyone. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you and to have what would be quite a normal assembly for us now. Of course, one day we'll all be in the hall and we'll be talking properly and everyone will be there to hear what I have to say and everyone will be able to interact and ask questions and I'll be able to talk to you more directly than I'm talking now. But at the moment, we are still on video assemblies. That moment will change, of course, and the vaccine for COVID-19 is now being given to people in order. Starting off with the people who are the most vulnerable and going through each of the groups until eventually it will mean that so many people are vaccinated that it will be very, very hard for COVID-19 to spread to anyone, which is really exciting. There have been lots of questions about this vaccine because there are a few different ones. And my favourite one is the one that's come from my university, which is the Oxford vaccine. And it's a really, really clever way of creating a vaccine. And it's something that normally takes years and years. But when everyone has come together, it means that we're able to kind of to do what would normally take a much longer time in a much shorter time. So the Oxford vaccine isn't just my favourite because it's from my university, but there's a word which means lucky by accident, and it's serendipity. And the lucky by accident thing with the Oxford vaccine is that in the trial, they accidentally gave less vaccine to some participants, and it was more effective. So when they gave what they meant to give to some participants, then the vaccine only works 60% of the time. That's not much better than a coin flip, which is quite useful because it more than halves your chance of getting COVID-19 if you had the vaccine, but nowhere near as good as some of the other vaccines which were reporting 90-95%. Now, the Oxford trial, at some point, they gave half the dose they were meant to give. And they found the people who received half the dose were 90-95% vaccinated and meant that they had a very, very small chance of getting COVID-19. So it was much better when they gave less. And that's serendipity. That's luck by accident. And luck by accident, I think sometimes is really obvious like that. And sometimes serendipity is what we make. We can see the world. So if something can happen that is unexpected, and we can see the silver lining in it, we can see the positive in it. You might be trying to do that right now. So you might be there thinking, I'd rather be in school, or I'd rather be doing this. But actually, there is an advantage. There's a positive. There's a silver lining to take from this situation. There's, although it's not what I chose and it's not what I intended to happen, there are good things to come out of it. One of my silver linings from lockdown 1 was that I got a lot more time in the mornings with my children. So I was in school lots at my old school, at Woolacombe School. But I didn't have to work in quite the same way. And so it gave me a bit more time with my children. So even though I thought, well, this is a bit rubbish that I don't get to go out all the time and I can't see my friends, I do get to spend a bit more time with my children. Serendipity is quite often a mindset, quite often seeing things as well. So sometimes it's really obvious, like the Oxford vaccine, and sometimes it's seeing the accidental luck. So something we didn't intend to happen and we go, actually, that was quite lucky because something brilliant's come out of it. And mindset's really important. In fact, one of my favourite studies on happiness looked at the happiness of lottery winners. And they looked at the happiness of lottery winners and they looked at the happiness of other people as well, actually. But the happiness of lottery winners over time. And what they found was that people's happiness after they won the lottery, so say you win 50 million and you go, that's amazing, I'm going to go and buy a helicopter and a boat and 18 houses, and I can't live in 18 houses, but really exciting to have 18 houses. And so you might give money to your friends, you might quit your job, you might go and do something completely different. And what this study showed was that within a year, the people who won the lottery were pretty much as happy as they were before they won the lottery. How can that be? How can you have this thing that, and initially their happiness goes through the roof. People are really, really happy. And then how can it be that they're no longer as happy as they were when they initially won the money, and they're just as happy as normal? And there are lots of theories about why that might be. But one take on it would be that happiness is a bit of a scale for each of us. And if you're the sort of person who believes in seeing serendipity everywhere and believes in seeing this luck by accident, oh, that's fantastic. This thing I didn't mean to happen has actually got a really good thing to it. Then you'll continue to do that. And sometimes if you're a more negative-minded person, then you will see the difficulty in having lots of millions. Oh, all of my friends keep, wanting to have money, and actually now I've quit my job, I don't really feel like I have much purpose. Now, lots of people will see the same situation differently, and that's because we're all individuals. And I've been thinking about the serendipity in our situation at the moment, and this isn't what I want to happen. I want you guys in school. I didn't want my first year as your head teacher to be a year where you didn't see a lot of me. And I want to see what's going on in classrooms, and I want to feel the buzz of a school. So if I had a choice, I would have school back right now and everyone would be back in, and that'd be really exciting. But that's not safe at the moment. So what can I take from this? Well, one thing is Google Classroom, and seeing you guys working on Google Classroom, and it's almost like having an invisibility cloak. So normally, if I step into the classroom, people look round and people ask, is there something you want, Mr. Pollack? And I might talk to you or might leave or whatever, or I try and sit at the back and not really be noticed. Now I can invisibly sneak into your Google Classrooms. You don't know I'm there unless I actually say something, and I can see all of the wonderful work that's going on. So here's a bit of serendipity, I think. This is a bit of luck by accident, where I've gone, actually, this is really, really cool. Now, this is not to be sneaky, by the way. And that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I get to see how you talk to people, and I get to see how you interact. And I must say, across so many of the classrooms, I can see people posting things they're really proud of, and I can see their friends and other people in the classroom complimenting them on their work and saying, oh, I think that's a great job. And I can see people being really supportive towards one another, which is something that we've talked about a lot as well. So I think that's a bit of luck by accident, that I get to see this, and you don't necessarily know I'm reading your comments, but believe me, I'm in every Google Classroom. I am reading pretty much everything that goes online as well at some point. And it is brilliant to see. It is so wonderful to see such a fantastic attitude being demonstrated by so many of you. I want you to take a moment to think about serendipity, a bit of luck by accident. Sometimes it's really obvious. And sometimes it's just mindset. You are as happy as you would be if you won the lottery just in a year's time. And that's one way to think about the world, which is if you're thinking, oh, I would love to win the lottery, I'd be really happy. You would be for a small amount of time, and then within a year you'd be just as happy as you normally would be. And so thinking like that, you think, well, how happy am I normally? And actually, how much do my thoughts control my happiness? One of my favourite quotations is from Marcus Aurelius, and he said, the quality of thoughts determines the quality of your life. How I think determines how I feel. and the more positive my thoughts, the more I look for a little bit of unexpected luck, the more I look for opportunities to praise other people and to feel good about what's going on in school, the happier I feel. I wonder what makes you guys feel happy, and I wonder how often you think, actually, there is some good in this situation, even though I didn't want it, even though there's lots of bad, I suppose, there is some good here, and I want you to reflect on that and think about, actually, what's good about lockdown number 3? Because if you look for it, you will find it. And I think that's it from me as well. Have a lovely day. Enjoy yourselves, and I will talk to you very soon.